Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Can we hear each other?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, great. Great,
Perfect.
man.
Perfect. Thanks for being on your podcast.
No problem. It's my pleasure, man.
Yeah. So for me, it's also exciting because I actually started last year. I tried to start my own podcast,
Okay.
and then I postponed it a little bit. So now I'm still kind of like in developing stage, and I'll hopefully resume it as well later.
I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I had something in me. I'm a perfectionist, and I had a troubles before to start something. And
Yeah.
this time I just said to myself, okay, it's not going to be perfect. I just need to start, and I need to optimize after I just started something.
Yeah. I
So.
mean, that's the only way to go.
Yeah, it is. So I'm super grateful that you accepted my invitation.
No problem. No problem. For me, it's a pleasure.
Yeah. So where are you right now? Are you in Saint Petersburg?
Yes. Yeah, I'm in Saint Petersburg right now. We are, as you remember from LEAP Summit,
Yeah.
thanks for as well joining the LEAP Summit.
Mm-hmm.
We are in Saint Petersburg, Russia. That's where we're mostly located.
Mm-hmm.
And here we're specializing in the social media marketing, also in the video production as well. So kind of like trying to develop both things. And as I was starting pretty much like 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I was at that time, I was like, I didn't know what to do. And then I was, okay, maybe let's try to go freelancing. So I went on the platform like Fiverr and just started to look for other services, for other things that I can maybe do.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I found I would say not really success, but I found what I liked through Instagram, social media marketing, and now we're also developing video production, and then in the future, hopefully, we're gonna develop more and more stuff. So that's where based at the moment. And at the same time, I studied in US in university, and I graduated there. So I went to, actually that was like longer time ago. I was playing tennis professionally, traveling a lot,
Cool.
and then I was like, okay, maybe I should try and play for university in US, because at that time, they have like good programs to be on a scholarship. You can play for university, and at the same time you can get a really good degree.
So this is why your English is so good.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, that's, I guess, like you were saying, you just have to start doing the same with English. I could say I was good at school in English, but I wasn't the best at grammar. But I think the biggest advantage I had is I had a lot of practice. I was traveling, speaking English to other players, coaches, and then when I went to university, I was basically just speaking English all the time.
Great, man.
Yeah. So, what about you?
What about me? I was born in Osijek, in Croatia, and I moved 2 years ago. I moved to Zagreb, to the capital. So you've been here, so you know how Zagreb is like.
Yeah.
And I moved here because I wanna have better opportunities in my life and in my career. Because I have this ambition inside of me, and I wanna grow. I wanna develop myself and do bigger things in life. So this is why I moved here. And right now I'm working in a company that is called SIOS. It is a company that gives us services in the scrap recycling, metal recycling, and we are the biggest company here in the whole Balkans. So we employ 2,000 people, and I'm really, really close to the owners and to the board members. So this is a great opportunity for me to learn how can you really lead a bunch of people and create a great organization. So this is where I am right now, and recently I started this or at least I'm trying to create a brand under the name of LOOD, as you've seen on Instagram, where I sent you the invite.
Yeah.
The LOOD acronym stands for Life of Our Dreams. So I wanna inspire, empower, and educate people so they can become the best version of themselves, so they can reach their full potential, and so they can touch their dreams maybe someday.
Yeah,
I think that living a life that way is much more interesting than just settling for the average.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think inspiring others, helping others is, I would say, is the biggest thing to do, and it's gonna in the future pay off for you at the same time. And what are you doing? I think it's going to be great, especially you. I think you mentioned, are you planning to do some like courses, education courses, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, that's online education is developing, I would say, pretty strong
rapidly
now. Yeah, pretty strong. And from my experience when I was in university in US, I could say that, I mean, I learned a lot of stuff, but, you know, some of the stuff didn't really help me to implement where I'm today. So I think it's good if someone can also. I'm actually also recording some courses, online courses, because I've been asked to do that. I mean, a lot of clients, a lot of people, they were always asking me like, "Can you record a course? Can you about that?" So I actually developed a course, and I'm in the process of publishing it. So I will actually.
So what is the topic of the course?
It's about Instagram, like how basically brands can adapt to Instagram, how they can grow their accounts, basically everything about that. And I actually decided, for example, now I'm planning to post that on Udemy platform. And because, I mean, my niche is kind of like building a brand, building my reputation on platforms like freelancing platforms, because that's what my I would say journey started. So I want to continue to try to scale my brand, the company on those freelancing platforms. Fiverr is the main one for services, but I want to try to go for Udemy as well, because I think there is a lot of potential. At the same time, I like the platforms a lot because you get like really competitive, because there's other people next to you. So I think it's good that you're in that competitive stage as well, and you can progress, and you're looking to always grow your brand, get better reviews and all this stuff. So that's, I think, what I'm trying to focus, and I will continue to focus. And I think like Udemy, it's a great platform, especially like, I mean, I don't know, what are your thoughts on Udemy actually?
I've been using Udemy for. I bought a few courses there, and it is a great platform. But what I was thinking about, self-publishing the courses that I create. You know, I got I get your point that there is a feeling of competition there on those platforms, and maybe it will drive more from you, more energy, more drive. So you do your business. So you do your products even better. But I don't know. I'm thinking about self-publishing.
Yeah. I think it's also good self-publish, like platforms like Thinkific, for example. Actually, we work with them very closely. So I'm gonna go for self-publishing as well, but a little bit later, because I still want to. If you go for self-publishing, obviously you need to develop your website, you need to develop more about the strategy, how you're going to get the clients, how you're going to control all of that. So it's also good. I think there's a lot of potential from that. Obviously, you can just grow even bigger, I think, without the platform. But for me, as I'm trying to, in the niche as well, which I mean, I think I can get good start with the Udemy first, and then I'll definitely look forward to jump and go for self-publishing.
Yeah, it's great because when you start on the platform like Udemy, you will get an instant feedback.
Yeah,
it is much more challenging to self-publish it. because it involves so much more work than publishing it on other networks, on other platforms. But when you said that this is your strategy, and my strategy right now is this is why I started with these podcasts, with these interviews. I just wanna communicate and network with a lot of people all around the world. So this is my fifth podcast. Mm-hmm. You're fifth guest. So I've been talking to the people. The first guy was from Estonia. He is an entrepreneur from Estonia. Then mm-hmm. the second lady was from United States. The third one also architect from Los Angeles, and I don't know, fourth was a guy, entrepreneur from New Zealand. So people from all around the world, from all different backgrounds, different stories. So this is very interesting to me. My strategy is to network, to meet a lot of people, because, and especially in the future, I'm going to try to focus more on the people that are in the niche, in my niche, and mm-hmm. Of personal growth and education. And for me right now, I'm trying to find a teacher that I'm going to build a course around. Mm-hmm. And so this is my first goal, to find a teacher or teachers. And the second goal is to find people who will help me promote the course, so that I will do an affiliate marketing with when the course is created. So this is my strategy right now. This is why I started with this podcast. Yeah, to be completely honest about it.
Yeah, podcast is amazing. I actually listen to a lot of different podcasts, like Gary Vee. Obviously, he has a lot of content in his podcast, YouTube. And I like podcasts a lot, because it's just, you can do other things, like you can still work, do your stuff. Mm-hmm. And at the same time you listen to the podcast. So I think at the same time, like you're working out, you can listen to the podcast. And those are great, because you obviously, it's hard to get started. I'm sure you're in that zone where you're trying to get more guests. You're probably emailing them, like sending them messages. Mm-hmm. But that's the stage where everyone has to go through. Mm-hmm. And I think this is just the time matters of how long you're gonna keep doing that. And then in the future, you're going to have obviously structure, and people going to be writing to you to be on your podcast. So it's a really good investment, and especially for networking purposes, for mm-hmm. just building your brand, building your community. And definitely that's going to really work out pretty well. So so I think, what else I wanted to say? What is your what type of course you want to start building? For example, the first one.
I've been thinking a lot about it, and your route is a little bit easier to produce, because you said that you're going to create courses on the topic of Instagram, or something that is I call it hard skills. Mm-hmm. There are hard skills, but I think that I'm going to focus on soft skills. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, skills like communication, mm-hmm. or productivity, or things like that, where you cannot measure them that easily, and there is really this. It is hard to educate people on things like that, because those skills and those things sound so abstract, and I'm going to try to make them as practical as possible, so people can really make action as soon as possible, and improve their lives really quickly. So this is something that I'm trying to do. So I think that the first one will be about communication, because mm-hmm. I think that communication is one of the most important tools that we have in our arsenal as human beings, because we cannot do anything by ourselves. We all the things that we need to do, we need to do them in teams, in organizations, so with other people. And if you want to motivate people, if you want to lead people, you gotta be able to communicate more effectively.
Yeah.
And it is a topic that a lot of people don't think about. But when you go into it a little bit deeper, you will come to understand. Okay, so humans are social beings, and the only tool that we use is communication. So I don't know, bodily communication, your facial expressions, your voice, deepness, pitch of your voice, things like that. Your eye contact, your movements, and in the end, of course, it is the spoken word. And you know all of this because I know that you are doing public talks, so you know what I'm.
Yeah, of course. I mean, communication, I would say, is it's probably the biggest in business as well, right? Right. If you're doing if you're offering a service, communication comes, I would say, as a bigger percentage than the actual service, because you need to be able to reply quickly. You need to be able to explain, to make sure you can, just talk as well properly, have the professional writing. So I think there's a lot of things goes into communication, and you can solve a lot of things as well through communication. So I think it's a really great topic, and a lot of people, they actually don't. It's just, you don't really learn this at school, at universities, like a lot of stuff that as well, I'm sure you're going to focus on. It's just not taught to us. So I never had any class. I had like public speaking class, but the only thing I did there was I was like memorizing my speech, presenting, and then I just got feedback on it. So it was just really hard. It was very fast, as like when you're a student, you have so many things going on, and at the same time you're trying to start your hustle, your business. You're just not like, you're more in your business side rather than school. So it's just sometimes when you get those subjects like public speaking, the subject can't cover all, and they're just teaching really basic stuff, which I'm sure it's good, but at the same time not for everyone. So some people needs more, I would say, in depth, or more examples, more proofs, personalization as well, as I think is very important.
And as a public speaker, that we learn the best from examples, from symbols, from metaphors. So as a public speaker, I don't know, I heard that Lisa Nichols, I don't know if you know who that person is. Lisa Nichols says that you don't tell them, you show them. So when you are communicating, try to show people something, not tell them about something.
Yeah, definitely.
When you show them, then they can create a picture in their minds and really connect with the idea that you wanna give to them.
Yeah.
I just sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I just want for the audience to know a little bit more about you. I have so much questions to ask you. I don't know how long can you do it? How much time do you have?
Well, it's as long as you need.
Okay, then we're going to dive deep. Okay, so can you maybe tell the audience a little bit about yourself? What is your background? What is your background story? Where have you been born, raised? Can you tell us something about your parents, maybe siblings, and things like that?
Yeah, of course. So my name is Vasily, and I've been born in Saint Petersburg. That's where I live now, and we have, like I was saying, an office here. And I was basically born in that city. My parents from St. Petersburg as well, and my grandmothers, grandfathers, they all live here in St. Petersburg. So we're kind of like all in one city. And I also have two older sisters. They are, obviously, when we were very young, they were for me as like mentors. They were just like kind of like helping a lot with like obviously with communication, with just in general helping with other things. And later on, they became like, we started to be really close with each other. Like we always helped each other in anything, if it's at school or if we go somewhere. So I think we're just, we were raised as very, I would say, friendly with each other. And later on, when we became older, I was playing tennis professionally. And that's where, at the beginning, my parents, they wanted me to be in sports. So I tried many different, I tried tennis, I tried football, soccer, and hockey. And then eventually it turned out to be the tennis, because I liked it. I was always playing with like a racket, holding it, running with it. So that's where I also started. When I was around 6, 7, I started playing tennis in a group. And later on, when I became like 10, when I was 10 years old, I started to play my first tournaments in Saint Petersburg. And they were going really well, I would say. I really liked the sport. I was already like competitive. And my father, he wasn't professional athlete, but he was more as also very, I would say, energetic, very athletic. He liked sports as well. So that's kind of like the discipline I got from him. And then when I became around 12, 13 years old, I started to try to play my like international tournaments. I went to, I remember, Finland. That's the first, actually the St. Petersburg is really close to Finland. So a lot of people, they go there just for like shopping. And always I just tried and went there to play a tournament. And afterwards, it became like, I would say, routine. I was playing more consistently, and I was playing national tournaments. Eventually, I would say, in the top 20, even I was like close to top 10 in Russia. And then I went, when I was playing international.
Top 10 in Russia?
Yeah. In tennis.
Really?
Yeah. And then
really good.
Thanks. And then when I went to
that's not an easy task, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I wasn't like super amazing, but I was a lot of kids at that age, they have some of them have talent, and of course that's a huge advantage when you're at the beginning. If you have a talent, it already gives you a lot of you have like the feeling on the ball, you're more kind of like coordinated. And I didn't have a really talent. I was more of the like a hardworking. So when I was closer to like 15, 16, 17 years old, I started to play more international tournaments. And then I got to 350 in the world in juniors. And that's, I would say, when I became like 17, 18, that's where I started to get that, through hard work, started to pay off really. So when I turned 18, afterwards, I was like, my parents were like, you need to have also education, good degree as well. And if you're in Russia, you can't really do both things. So like you can either go and
choose,
and play full time professionally and just forget about university, or you just stop playing tennis professionally or any other sport and just go and study for different like time.
So you stopped playing tennis at 18?
So I didn't stop. So I went to sports university in Russia, which is like all the athletes go there. And that university helps you to still continue to play professionally. So I went there first for 1 year just to see. And then I was still playing competitively. And then I saw that in America, they have those like scholarships. They have, you can also play for university. And at the same time, you can later on build your professional career, or if it doesn't work out, you can still get a good degree. So I was, my dad, he also liked that idea, because when I was like 20, I didn't really had like amazing results. Like I would say I was above average, but I knew that it's going to be really, really hard to get to like top 100 in the world professionally, because the just competition is, you have that feeling like when you need to make that decision, it's not easy, but I decided to go to the university and play there for the team as well. And I got a scholarship, which was very nice because all that financial side of my parents, which they helped me early in my career, it's kind of like paid off a little bit because they didn't have to pay for university. And then at that time I started to also with my freelancing hustle, because when I got to US, I saw a lot of...
When did you start it? Around 22, 23, freelancing career?
Freelancing career, it was, around 21, I would say, somewhere 20, 21.
So how old are you right now?
I'm 23.
23.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I started...
You're so young still.
Yeah, still pretty young. A lot of years to go with business and experience. But I started because, I mean, when I got to university, I knew that I'm foreigner, and to stay long in university is going to be harder. Like, I need to start doing something now. So I was like, okay, maybe let's start with freelancing, because when I was playing professionally tennis, I had my coach, and he was he was running his own business, and I actually helped him with social media. And later on, I realized that this is something that I could be good at, and also maybe this could help me in the future. So when I was studying in university in US, I was at the same time doing a freelancing. And I basically, during those times, I didn't really had any fun time, to be honest, because when I was doing on Fiverr, you have to always obviously keep up with the rating, keep up with all these orders, completion rates, and delivery, refunds, etc. So my goal was to really get to the top of the freelancing on Fiverr, to be like top rate seller. And I knew in order to become the top rate seller, I need to really put in the time and the work as well. So that's what I was doing. I was just going to my classes in the morning. Then we had like a gym training with the team. And then we had the lunch, then went to the training, tennis. And afterward, just coming back home, doing the homework, and then doing the freelancing hustle.
So where have you been in the United States?
I've been in
which country, city?
So I studied in South Carolina, in Charleston city, and we traveled a lot. So I traveled pretty much went to the New York, Florida. I've been to California, Georgia, Virginia, like pretty much. Not, of course, not all the states, but I would say quite a few, to be honest.
So a big portion of your childhood was about tennis, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what can you tell the audience? Maybe what did you learn in those years with this relationship with tennis and with everything that you needed to do to progress and in one part to be in the top 10 in whole Russia in your generation, which is really, really remarkable result if you know how much Russians there is.
Yeah.
So
of course.
what did you learn during this period of your life and this relationship with tennis?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is that you have to put in the hours of work. So no matter what you're doing, is like I had to train all the time, because if I would not be training, preparing, like waking up early in the morning, going for a run, then doing exercises, like if I wouldn't be doing that, I wouldn't be able to achieve good results. And that, you can't really skip that. There is no shortcuts. You just have to literally sit and start, start your routine pretty much. And the same transition to the business, to the freelancing first, that I knew that I have to put in the hours at the same time. So I had to wake up early in the morning, go to Starbucks and start, working on my freelancing. And then I have to do the same in the evening. So just literally you have to, time management, I think is the biggest from I would say from that experience, that I had to manage my time. And then I realized sometimes, because I was like, okay, maybe I can postpone it later. And then, I just had no time to when you're in university, you just don't have like free time, to be honest. You just have to like go practice, school. And then I was kind of like behind a little bit, and that feeling is not good at all. You feel like you're behind, you need to catch up, and you're just stressed, depressed as well. So I learned the lesson that it's better to be, it's better to suffer maybe some period of time, but then later on it's going to pay off, and you're going to be you're going to have better discipline, because discipline is very important.
Yeah, of course. So the lessons that you learned from tennis, you just applied to your career right now and to the business. And of course, they are working in both on both platforms, as I can say.
Yeah,
really, really interesting. So, can you tell me, maybe did you learn about discipline from your father, maybe, or is it something that you just developed by yourself?
Well, I think my father, he helped me definitely a lot, because he was very strict, but at the same time, he was disciplined, and I was always watching what he's doing. And when he was waking up every morning, going for exercising, jogging, I just saw it. And when I was young, I didn't realize it straight away, but he was always kind of like pushing me into the right direction, and saying to me things that I was at the beginning I was basically disagree with him, but I was still doing, because I was just I wasn't that kid which is like, no, I'm not gonna do it, and that's it. I could be upset, but I still will do it. And then I saw that it impacts me pretty well. Like, I saw the results. I saw that it actually helped me. So I think he helped a lot in that. And then when I was in university, I just saw other students, what they're doing, how they're spending their time, and I was already realized some of them were just like having too much fun. So I knew that at some point they'll have to start doing that work. So I was kind of like I tried not to waste the time. And at the same time, I met some people who were very successful already at that stage. Who one of them actually, his name is Will. He was one of the founders of the app, which which was higher than the Snapchat for a few weeks. And when I saw those like entrepreneurs, young hustlers, I was like, wow, this is great.
This is for me.
This is great. And at the same time, it opens a lot of doors, because before, when you grew up in Russia, like, the mindset of people here is a little bit different than US, than any other countries. And I'm sure this could happen with any other country. Like, if you're born in another country, the mindset is everywhere is different. And when I went to US, I just saw that at a younger stage, people could already develop some things, and they think outside of the box, and they can come up with something. So I was like, I shouldn't be wasting time. I should be started and also working on something.
So let's talk a little bit about mindset then. I learned so far that mindset is created by few pillars, I call it. So the first pillar is genetics. It is something that you got and you cannot change it. So this is the first pillar. The second pillar is your parenting. Where have you been? Where you have been born, and around whom have you been born? So who are your parents, and what did they teach you? I think that all of those soft skills that I was talking about, we really learned from our parents, and then after it, we learned some hard skills during the third pillar, our educational system, or formal educational system. And the last pillar is, for me, it is media. So when you combine all those things, genetics, parenting, school system, and media, this is something that creates a mindset, and collective of mindsets is called culture. So can you maybe compare to me and to the audience the mindsets and the culture that you've seen in United States and that you've seen that you witnessed during your younger days and right now in Saint Petersburg and in Russia as a whole?
Yeah, of course. I mean, in Russia, I would say we have some of the fields which are like very well developed. Some of the fields are not very well developed. So when I was, for example, playing tennis, we still, like in Russia, it was very limited courts. We didn't have enough support as well from that. So I would say, in a summary, to say the mindset, people are they're a little bit, I would say, cold. They're a little bit closed, and I think that they just, I would say, like underestimating themselves, thinking that they won't be able to achieve it, or it's just too hard, or it's not it's still maybe early. So because when I was at school, university for 1 year in Russia, I was experiencing that. Like a lot of students, they were saying, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna graduate, then I'm gonna work what I have degree on." So they were just very kind of like one way go. And when I went to US, I saw a lot of people. They're just like trying to create something, trying to just come up with something, always thinking outside of the box. And then I saw the results from them as well. So I was like, if he's doing that, and then that person got really good results from it, that means it's working. So that means that pretty much anyone could try and start doing that. Of course, they need to have a mindset, like you mentioned, the genetics. I think it's very important. Obviously, it's not super important because a lot of stories, a lot of people, they maybe grew up from not very good families, but then later on they still were able to.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, to find the right path to fight with that and just building their career as well. So I think very important from the first thing is you have to be able to work. Like you just have to sit there and work on your stuff for, I don't know, for 24 hours, maybe for even more. Don't sleep and stuff. So you have to have that feeling, because if you don't have that, it's just not going to work out. Like because when you're creating something, especially that stage, you just have to give up a lot of other good stuff, which you have, like your free time, your friends, in family, for example. You have to, because you have to keep working on your thing. And then afterwards is I think the discipline, because if you're going to continue to work for like all the time, 24, you're just going to be exhausted. And you're going to, at one point, you can just literally stop everything, because you'll be thinking that you have too much and you're not going to the right direction. So I think time management and discipline is very important. And in Russia, people are very hardworking. Like they have that feeling, and they're big fighters as well. But what maybe some of them don't have is that creative thinking, or be willing to take risks, for example. And in US, of course, I mean, just like the education is also different. Like the way people are taught in Russia and US is also different. But I think like from US, I just saw those people thinking more outside of the box than here in Russia.
Yeah. So I can be free to say that the United States really, really inspired your way of thinking.
I think it just
way
opened
of
the
doing
doors.
things. Yeah.
It's opened a lot of doors.
Yeah, you said that for success in life, it is really, really important to be able to work hard and to have perseverance, to be disciplined, and you gotta understand also, and the audience gotta understand that only working hard is not enough. Of course, you need a lot of people are working their tails off each day, every day, and day in and day out, and they are still struggling in life, and they're not progressing, they're not moving forward. And for me, they're just like a car that is stuck in the mud and cannot move forward because they need a little bit help of someone who can move them from that spot. And for me, this piece of a puzzle here is education.
Yeah.
It is education, but particularly what kind of education? I don't think that geography will help you change your mindset or some other studies. But in particularly, I think that personal growth. So everything starts with yourself. Everything starts with your own personal growth. And when you progress, when you become better, then your business also can become can become better and can scale, and you can lead more people and you can produce more results. So Can you tell me maybe what is your relationship with education? Have you finished the college? Are you maybe educating yourself somehow and things like that?
Yeah. I graduated from the university in South Carolina, and I would say like the last year for me was the hardest because my freelancing hustle was already kind of like moving. I started to get results. I was able to make money, and it was really hard to manage those two things. I would say three things because I was still also playing, and I had to play well to maintain my scholarship and to have good results for school. So the lesson from that I learned is that you need to, even if something that you don't like, for example, at that stage, I was not enjoying a lot of doing homework and schoolwork, but I was still doing it. I was still trying to manage it. And if you can manage something that you are don't really like doing that, then that, feeling, that skill is going to be very helpful in the business. Why? Because it's just, if you're able to prioritize things and if you're able to manage them, because that feeling when you're, for example, you found something in business that you like and you just literally go all in, 100%. You spend all day creating maybe a website, putting everything because you just love it so much, and that is good. But you still need to prioritize. You still need to, finish your other tasks or, do other stuff which you have. So that's very important. What I learned. And education, I mean, from university, like you were saying, like geography, a lot of subjects which I took, they literally I didn't really had much of effect from them. Like they didn't really, because, if you take like a less subject and you pass it, then if you don't apply within maybe 2 months, 3 months, then, you lose a lot of information from that. And I was doing I
agree with you 100%. Yeah.
And I was doing my minor was in computer information systems. So I was doing programming. I was learning Python, Java. And when I passed the course, and then I was like, okay, I have some skills, but then I didn't really apply them. And then now, for example, it's just, it's really hard now to remember what I did. And it's going to take some time. Like I still have that memory a little bit, but I need to still go through the course and be able to remember. So I would say, if you learn something, the best way is if you can implement it in something like, for example, even though if you learned the programming course, you can create a course yourself. You can learn from your instructor, from everything. Then you can try and potentially create a course. So, other students, this could find helpful because you pass the course, you have this information, and to make sure that it doesn't go away, you can create your own course. And I think this is a good as well investment of your time because other students might find it helpful and you can get good feedback on this.
Yeah. So, I agree. So, can you tell me maybe, are you doing something every day do you use some chunk of time every day to be working on yourself, maybe to be reading, watching some kind of educational videos, listening to some kind of a podcasts or things like that. So do you try to work on yourself every single day?
Yeah, I mean, it starts from from my experience, it starts from waking up early. I think this is the
I've seen it. I've seen it on your vlog.
Yes. So I do it. I would say, I had in September. I was also trying to put myself in a challenge where because I think it's good to also experiment with yourself, because obviously waking up early is not for everyone. Some people just cannot do that. I found for myself it helps me a lot, because when I wake up earlier and I start working, then I become much more productive. So like my first 3 hours, if I can start working, let's say at 8 o'clock in the morning, or even like 7:30, and if I work until like 11 a.m., I can get a lot of stuff done, compare working like for 4 or 5 hours in the evening. So that's what I learned from myself, and that's what I'm trying to consistently do, because it helps me a lot. Like it's a good feeling as well when you can do the your like the most important tasks in the morning, and then you have the rest of the day for more of the creative side, more of the strategy development, etc. So for me, it works well if I can do that operational work in the morning, and then just work with the team with developing other services and stuff in the afternoon. And
very interesting.
Also what I found, when I continue to work out, for example, exercising, I think it helps me a lot in the evening. Like when I go in the evening and go exercising, I try to listen like to the podcast, to the Gary Vee podcast, to Tim Ferriss, to some of the others for like online courses, because I wanted to create the online course, and before I started creating online courses, I wanted to get more information. So I went for this guy Phil Ebener.
I've been listening to it.
Yeah. So I was listening to him because he has a good experience in Udemy. He pretty much made it on Udemy, and I was listening to his podcast, and I was just also learning, so I can plan my course on how it will look and how I will promote it, and that's how I would say I was doing that passive learning at the same time when I was working out.
So you call it passive learning.
Yes, passive learning, because
it's really interesting.
Because you go literally on the treadmill, you run for I don't know 20 minutes or whatever, or just working out, lifting weights, and instead of listening music, you listen to the podcast, because you can obviously you're getting in better shape, and at the same time your mindset is thinking about something creative, something that you'll work on in the future. And for me, it works well because those two things connects well. Like I'm working out, I'm motivated, and at the same time I get that new ideas, new strategies in my head. And then when I finish my workout, I just eat and then go sleep. So I try to not even open my laptop, because I know that if I open it in the evening, I could stay for all night and just find something, So I think it's also important to shut down some of the things. Like, for example, you have your time in the morning, you have your time in the afternoon, and then turn off everything. Doesn't matter if it's even if some things are due, you still need to. I would say, for example, let's say I have an order due that time, and I had a lot of time to do it. And if I push it to the last minute, and then I try to stay like until the last moment, obviously you need to finish that order, but you need to also punish yourself. Like if you wait for so long, you need to give yourself a punishment, so you can in the future you can start it early. So I learned that lesson too, and I try to to work with myself, because it's at the end of the day, it's you're gonna be driving your business, you're gonna be leading your team, you're gonna be you're the leader, so you have to at the same time test and train yourself very well.
I see that you are a very business minded person. so let's dive in a little bit in this topic more. I see that you've been waiting to speak more about this, and I wanted to have a little more background of your background story. So let tell us a little bit about the beginning of the freelancing career, about the Fiverr, and things like that, until this point where you started traveling all around the world and giving public talks on conferences, creating awesome videos, which I really like. So
Thank you so much.
thumbs up. I really enjoyed them. You are also very courageous to have your team besides you every single day and doing these vlogs. And really great production. So thumbs up. So can you tell the audience a little bit about the start of the freelancing and move us through today?
Yeah. So, I mean, when I started, like I was saying, I started it on the freelancing platform, Fiverr. And, I tried also, besides that, I tried to do it on my own through just literally, when I was in Russia, I was just sending maybe 50 to 150 text messages through WhatsApp, through emails to different like companies, small businesses, to promote their Instagram account. Mm-hmm. And I was doing Fiverr, so I created a Fiverr profile and Fiverr.
And how did you stumble upon the Instagram? And how did you thought about it that you could do something like this?
Yeah, so I tried before Instagram. I tried to do graphic because I had a background in Photoshop. I had some video editing skills. So I tried first doing graphic designs, and I went as well on Fiverr and was just creating some graphic designs for my friends. And I realized that it's not that what I like to do. It's not that I can do well, and I was not really passionate about it. So I was just like, I should not do it if I'm not passionate, because at the end of the day, it's not obviously money matters, but if you don't have a passion, if you don't like doing that, you're not gonna push 24 hours to do it. You're gonna be like always not enjoying it.
Yeah, so you will not have energy to do it.
Yeah, you will not have energy, exactly. So then I was tried video as well. Same thing happened. I enjoyed it, but still I was not very, I would say I was slow, and I knew that there were people better than me, and that it's not very, it's not the niche which I could be like an expert in. So
if I can say for a second, which is really important for the audience. So if you have an idea of something that you want to do something, for me it is the best to do it right away and to really see if you like it or not.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to do it. It's not about the money at the beginning. You just have to tell yourself, can you do this for literally 15 hours straight? Are you going to enjoy doing that or not? And if you say no, then in the long term it's not going to work out. So you have to be really passionate. And when I was helping my coach with his fitness business, and basically he was asking help in the social media, and I was like, yeah, I'll be happy to help. Although I didn't have amazing results with Instagram, etc. But Instagram, because he wanted me to grow his Instagram, and I was literally sitting there with with my phone, with his Instagram account, and I tried and I started to engage with other people. I started to, following them. I started to sending messages to them. I started to interact with them. And, I like that process. I liked, I just, I would say I was trying to get their attention at the same time, providing some value there and structuring the content of my fitness coach brand. And I really enjoyed that process. I was just literally spending pretty much the majority of my free time and creating posts, writing the description, all researching all these hashtags, and just trying to find people through other like competitor accounts, through others. I just enjoyed that process. And then I realized that let's maybe try and come up with some sort of a service to help other people as well. Because during that time when I was helping him, I grew the account to 10,000 followers in around 3-4 months. And then
Great.
we were able to, and at that time it was much easier to grow because there were no limits pretty much on Instagram. And then we got a feature.
So you growed it without the promotions or paid promotions?
Yeah, so I just grew it manually. So I was just like following
organically
people. Yeah, I was posting a really good content where I was structuring. For example, he was selling those like fitness band, elastic bands, and fitness mats, and I was structuring and putting them into like a workouts. So I was creating like workouts for people. If they buy those products, they can go to Instagram and they will see different workouts which I was creating. So I liked, and I used some of my Photoshop skills just to kind of like make it nicer. But in the end of the day, I was enjoying the process of growing the account, getting the feedback from people, enjoying, and ultimately we were able to get more sales from that as well. So when I was at the stage where like if I go full time with him and continue doing that, or if I can, maybe potentially start this as my own service, I decided to choose to go and start it as my own service because, I mean, I was, more passionate. And of course, in his business, I would say, he was doing really well, but I was also managing, a lot of different stuff. I was managing the shipping, creating the website, creating the application as well. So for me, I decided to take the route of sticking more to Instagram and trying, at least giving a try to develop and help maybe other people.
So is it much harder right now today to grow your Instagram account than it was, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago?
Well, I mean, now obviously it's harder because you have like engagement drops like crazy compared to a few years ago. It's just you have those limits. You have a lot of different tools, a lot of different platforms. And it's just, you have to, I would say you have to know those limits. You have to be knowledgeable about all of that stuff, because if you do something wrong, Instagram could restrict your account, and that's basically the worst thing could happen. So now it's much, I would say, harder because Instagram is also encouraging you to use paid promotions. So you need to put money into Facebook ads and Instagram ads, which is a good thing. Like it's not bad if you're investing in the ads. It's good. You're gonna get the return back, but you have to be careful which type of content you're promoting, because if it's just picture with your friends and you're trying to run Instagram ads for that, it's not gonna bring you any results. If it's something valuable, like where you're maybe explaining something, providing value, and you run ads on the video like that, then it's going to bring you a lot of value, because people are going to be saving, people are going to be probably sharing with their friends, and ultimately it's going to lead to maybe some leads and maybe some sales, or at least some conversions in the future. So
I watched your video, the other day, about using hashtags.
Yeah,
and it really helped me. So I've been doing Instagram for about a year right now with this brand LOOD, and I've been using hashtags that are really popular. And in this video, you said to us that if you have a smaller account, so right now I have around 3,500 followers, and I get around 100-150 likes on average. And you said if you have this amount of likes, then you need to pick hashtags that have around 10,000, maybe 15,000 or 20,000 likes. Yeah. So I tried it, and usually I get around 1,000 people reach. And for this post, I think in the first day that I got 4,000 reach, which was really great. Wow, so thank you. It helped. It worked.
No, yeah, I mean, hashtags is it's a big talk as well about that, because you have to also what it's good. For example, let's say you want to target people who are in, for example, in Zagreb, Croatia, right? You can use hashtags like, for example, you just write Zagreb hashtag, and you will see a lot of different choices, like maybe Zagreb lifestyle, Zagreb city. And if you use more of those of the city and you post something which is relevant, so you can get, you can use these hashtags to get the audience which are in Zagreb, or maybe visiting Zagreb, or maybe travel to Zagreb. So it's also good if you're testing those city hashtags, because they can help you get more relevant audience for you as well. So, but yeah, I mean, it's good strategy.
So you started with Instagram because of your coach, and you really liked the process. This is why you stick to it, and you did not give up. You didn't give up.
Yeah.
And after it, you started to give it as a service on Fiverr, isn't it?
Yes, correct. So I went on the freelancing platform. I tried other ones. So it wasn't only Fiverr. It was Fiverr. It was Upwork. And I tried another one. I think it was a Russian one. And then I was just, I put myself out there. I recorded the video of myself. It was, I would say now it was terrible, because I was just sitting in my room, and I was very shy, because I was not used to public speaking and speaking at all. And I was just very shy, but I knew that it's going to help me, because the video, they convert much better compared to photo or even nothing. So I did it, and I started to get, some people writing me. I remember my first client ever was actually a student, and he paid me like $5 to help him with his account. And I was literally working. It was like 1 month work for $5, and then I even wanted to work longer, and I gave him another few weeks of free work, because
Great.
I like the process of just him being happy of my work, and I wanted him to become even more happy. So like I tried to over deliver him, and he wrote amazing review, and now for me it was like a huge energy. And
so $5 in total for all your service.
It was $5. I was literally working for like a month.
Is it $5 for an hour or $5 for a month?
It was before. It used to be. I used to charge like at the very beginning for $5, like for the whole month, and then once I got like 5 clients, of course I raised the prices, because I was like, it's just getting too much, and I'm not gonna provide the same quality which I want. So obviously, once you're at the stage where you're getting already customers, then you will be able to figure it out. You'll be able to, like for example, increasing the prices is another topic, but like you'll be able to figure out what you need to do, how much you're spending your time, how you can be more productive, how maybe you can come up with an extra services. So you're going to figure it out. So it's going to take some time. But for me, I was just enjoying the process. Like it's not the point where I was earning, but I was just building my brand on the platform. And I really liked it. I liked the reviews which I was getting, and, just the overall, the process of, getting that order, communicating, delivering the order.
And you became a top-rated seller on Fiverr.
Yes, I became top-rated seller on Fiverr. It was last year in April. Actually, it was funny, because I remember that day, and I wanted to quit Fiverr before. I wanted to quit and stop doing what I was doing on Fiverr, because at some points I was... my services were not, there were some problems or misunderstandings with the search and how my services were rated in the search. So I was also not upset, but I just was confused with Fiverr. But then I was telling myself, just keep going, because my goal was to become a top-rated seller. So I was like, just keep going. It's going to be fine. Eventually everything's going to be fine. So last year I was literally, it was 6 o'clock in the morning. It was a very hard day. Like I was just, not in the mood of working, but I knew I had to do it, because otherwise it's going to be a big mess. So I opened my laptop, go on the Fiverr, and then it says, you're a top-rated seller. and at that point I was like,
great.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't believe, because they don't tell you when you're going to be a top-rated seller. Like it's just going to happen from maybe today or next year. But in my head, I was like thinking, maybe I'll be top-rated seller. So it was April, and I was thinking maybe I could be like in the end of the year top-rated seller. So imagine, like I was not even expecting it to be. right now. And then I get the message like that. So
I love it.
So of course, the result I got, it just pushed me so much. So like I said to myself, okay, Fiverr is working. You're getting a good feedback. You're getting customers, and I met a lot of friends, like partners, potential like clients. Like I met a lot of even Lip Summit. They found me through Fiverr. So Lip Summit, they contacted me. They actually used some of my services. They liked it, and then we started talking about me being the speaker at the Lip Summit. So I was like, okay, it's working. So let's continue and push it even more. And
so, sorry. Yeah, go.
Yeah. So and then I decided to go full in, push it even more. And now we're at this stage where we're a company, but we have Fiverr as our like a back end. So basically, before it was like, and now it's my personal brand. But now we have created a company which called Knock Media. And then when people go on the website, they see all information about what we have, services and stuff. And then when they go and place the order, it's actually happening on Fiverr.
Okay, so you so at the beginning you are giving the services as yourself, as Vasily, and right now you are giving the services on Fiverr as a company.
Well, on Fiverr, it's still going to be me. It's still going to be my picture. If they find on Fiverr, they're going to find my personal brand.
Okay.
But in order to obviously build a company and build your as well reputation, we have obviously created the brand. We have created the website, and then when people go on the website, they see all the information about the services, about the stuff, and then if they want to contact us, they go and then it's redirected to Fiverr. So it's very good, I would say, synchronized together, but all the operations, all the communications, all the handling of orders happening on Fiverr. So I'm still building my freelancing reputation at the same time. And I'm building my, and that's what I want to go, because in the future, I want to, develop maybe another business where I'll help freelancers, where I will inspire freelancers to start their own hustle. And now I'm at the stage where I want to, try to build my online courses, see how they're going to go, and then I'll write a book as well about the freelancing.
Great. I'm going to buy the book and the course.
I'll give it for free.
No, I'm going to buy it. I just insist. I want to do it. So, have you heard maybe about the Robert Kiyosaki? Do you know who he is?
No.
Okay, so he wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it is a bestseller. So in this book you have a cash flow quadrant, and so on the top left it says there are employees, so they change their time for money. On the top on the bottom left there are freelancers. So the people like you were a few months or few years ago. On the top right are entrepreneurs. So when we talk firstly about freelancers, they change all their time for money, and when they stop, everything stops. And employees, they have this privilege. If they stop, they can go on vacation. They can go on I don't know, if they're sick, they can go on a sick leave. But if you're a freelancer, when you are sick, everything stops. When you go on a vacation, everything stops. So on the top right corner there are entrepreneurs. They exchange other people's time for money, and on the bottom right there are investors. So what they do, they exchange their money for more money. And a lot of people that are right now in that top left corner, so employees, and they want to become self-employed, they want to become freelancers. Do you think it is a great way for them, before they move to entrepreneurship, to go and try to do something only by themselves, just like you did with freelancing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very important because first you need to. It's kind of like transitioning from employers into freelancers. That's where you put yourself in that environment where you're responsible for obviously the work you're doing. At the same time, you're responsible for your growth, for your planning of time, and etc. So like you're starting to be more responsible. And some people, they're like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur, but they don't have any idea what it's going to be like to be entrepreneur. So it's also going as a freelancer, it's good because you can test yourself, you can see it. And then in order to jump into the next step, I would say it's start to hire, for example, an assistant who is going to, let's say, okay, this part of the work you can outsource, you can maybe hire an employer and, start teaching. That's what I did. That's how I started to develop my team. I had my first it was actually a friend. He started to helping me, and I was obviously paying him certain amount, and he was doing that work. And basically, it was for me. It was good because I knew that you have to do this, and I just explained to him, and he was doing that work. And for me, it was easier because I was, trying to do more and trying to develop in the future. And then second employee, it happened the same. I had that amount of work, which I knew how to do it, and I just explained it, showed it, taught, and then another person started doing that. And that's how you start developing, slowly your team. So in the future, you have basically, how to do this work, but you have your team members who you explain to them, show them, and they're responsible fully for that amount of work. And like this, you can start, growing and transitioning from entrepreneurship. But then you also have to be responsible for their quality. You have to be, check them. You have, so it's another. I would say it's another story. And at that stage,
it's a different skill.
Yeah, different skill. And that stage, you can be lucky. You can have, for example, a person who will be also motivated, who will be like skilled and, understanding it straight away. Or you can get a person who is just gonna realize that it's not for him, and he's just gonna probably leave. And you have to accept it, and you have to, continue to find another team member and, and work with him, and then he will be able to make a decision to stay with you or not.
Very good. Yeah. So have you ever been employed?
Actually, never.
Never. Okay. Yeah. So you don't know what is the feeling of being employed?
Yeah. Never been employed.
Great. So you just dived in freelancing, and right now you're building your company and you're building your team, your organization. Very good.
Yeah.
So can you tell maybe someone from the audience? Let's try to help one person today. So if they're thinking, maybe they're studying right now, they're in a college, and they're thinking about making some money on a side maybe, and they want to do some kind of a freelancing thing. So how can they start? Do they need to analyze themselves and see what kind of a skills they have, what kind of a passions they have, and dive in this particular thing? Or what advice do you have for them?
Yeah, so I think, first is just like whoever is listening, if you have, for example, a passion, like if you have a hobby, maybe in painting, right? You can, literally turn this into your freelancing hustle. So you have to just look at just realize what you enjoy doing. Maybe if it's just a hobby, I don't know, even like sports, you need to develop your hustle through, with your hobby. So for example, if you're at university, you have a lot of different courses. Like sometimes, try to take try to take programming course, try to take design course, try to take there's like creating your website, try to take finance. So it's good to try and try different things. Or you can just go literally take online courses. For example, you can go on Udemy and just try a few courses, because then when you finish them, you will be able to have the feeling if you enjoyed it or then once you learn something, go and try to apply it straight away. So you can go to the platforms, freelancing platforms, because platforms are great, since you don't need to create your own website. You don't need to create, you're just literally going out there, looking at what other people's do, realizing, coming up with this service, and just, offer it. If you have any skills in Photoshop, go ahead and offer, I'll edit your photo in 12 hours, for example, because there's a lot of services like that, like with the Photoshop. So if you want to have some competitive advantage, you can offer a low price. You can be like $5, for example, just to get started, and you can do it quicker than any other. For example, instead of 24 hours, do it for 12 hours, for example. And then it's just literally, if you like it, just go and approach. And you have on Fiverr, for example, you have the buy request section where you can go and message other people, other potential clients, and just try to become more personalized. So just like literally don't do copy paste messages. Every time write a new message and try to become more personalized. And that's how you're going to realize, like, in the future, then you will see, okay, I enjoy Photoshop, or I enjoy creating a website. And then you can, start pushing that, because it's literally like, if you don't enjoy something, you should not be doing it, because it's not gonna work out. You're gonna be stressed. You're gonna hate yourself, and then eventually you want to come back to your old job or be in the corporate. So you just have to find that passion.
So I love it. So do you advise to the people maybe that are employed right now, that they can see what their strengths are, what they love to do, what are their hobbies, what they can expand on, and do it maybe like a side hustle in the afternoon after their work. I don't know, use some chunk of time, 3, 4, 5 hours in the afternoon, and just start the process. And one day they can maybe move to do it full time, and then in the future create their own team and start creating their own organization, just like you started right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest, like, whoever's, for example, employed, working in the company, the best way, if you want to work on your own stuff, is if you do it in the morning. So literally go to bed early, like you finish your work at 6 or 7.
Very interesting.
5, yeah, because if you're going to do it after your work, you're going to be exhausted. You're not going to, like, it's just exhausting feeling. Like you don't have any energy because you already spent so many hours.
Very good advice. Very good
your
advice.
Regular work. So just go to bed at 9, 10 p.m., wake up at 5:30, 6, and spend those 2-3 hours working on your own thing, because you will have a lot of energy. You will be like, you'll have that feeling like you're in your own business. And then once you stop, you go to your normal, job, you do your work there, etc. And then after that work, you can maybe think about the strategy for next day, or think how you, so don't do like any operational, because you're going to be not productive at all. But go to bed early, wake up again early, and then do operational, all that main stuff in the early morning before your day job. So I think this is what I learned from school as well. Because
great advice.
I was doing that before school, and I had a lot of energy. I was like pushing, and I was productive, and just everything was great. Because at the end of the day, you just want to lay in the bed, watch some video or I don't know, movie, and it's so hard to focus, and it's not good to push yourself at that point, because you're not going to be productive, and that's just the most important.
Just like Gary Vee says, play Madden and watch House of Cards, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, Gary Vee is interesting. I mean, Gary Vee is saying, like, obviously he's saying like what you're doing after 6 till 9. It's obviously, if you can do it, it's amazing. But from my experience, it's much harder. It's
better strategy to do it in the morning.
Yeah, because you're fresh, you're just ready to go and do it. So the same what Gary Vee says, but just do it in the morning, and that's going to be more productive.
Okay, I hope that that you inspired and that we inspired someone right now. Great.
Yeah.
I see that your emphasis also is largely on your personal brand. So you are really active on a lot of conferences.
Yeah.
You want to connect with people in person. You want to share your message. You want to share the things that you are doing, and you also are creating your vlog around yourself. So why is it that you are creating this personal brand? Why do you think that this is important?
Yeah, so a good question. I decided to invest, obviously, it's money at the same time and time into the personal brand, because personal brand, and it's especially is good for if you're a freelancer or looking to be a freelancer, you go as your personal brand, not just go as a company which you want to create, but just go as a person, because in the future, it's gonna, obviously your name always stays, right? You're not gonna change your name, and obviously your face as well. So in the long term,
Hopefully.
hopefully, I mean, a lot of people, they do different stuff, but obviously, you're gonna be in the future, like, people gonna realize by your name, they're gonna be like, oh, for example, this guy did a good job, like. So it's just very important for building your, obviously, brand awareness, because then if you're gonna go and start your company, you're gonna have already some sort of community, or people gonna already kind of like could support you in that. So that's why it's important to build your personal brand on social media, for example, building your community. And then when you start something, when you go with some sort of projects, you can have that support of people. And yeah.
Yeah, and people buy from the people they trust and then that they know.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you can offer the same service, but for example, John, he enjoyed working, with you rather than other person, because he had that good vibes, connection, and just he enjoyed the process. So it's good for your company. Like, for example, Gary Vee, he's building a huge personal brand, and he has an incredible personal brand, but at the same time, that personal brand helps him for getting bigger clients, corporate clients, and for his agency, for his other companies. So it helps him in the long term for the companies as well. And for at the same time, for you, it helps you in different skills as well, in personal growth and etc. So it's very important.
So if someone wants to start improving and growing their personal brand, how can they start?
I think, right now, for example, Instagram, right? It's a big one of the where people are right now on Instagram mostly, and of course, it's good to build your personal brand on social media. For example, LinkedIn. It's also great if you can start and develop. For example, myself, I haven't been really heavy on the LinkedIn yet, but my goal is to be also consistent there and see what this could bring me. But I'm really pushing right now Instagram and YouTube. YouTube is the slowest platform for growth. But at the same time, it's good for long term, because you're building like your legacy, all those videos, all those information you put there. It's going to help in the future, in the long term. People can find more information. They can look back and maybe be inspired by your journey. And then eventually you can, also build your channel. So YouTube, you have to give maybe like 3 to 5 years to really build it's successful. Instagram, it's much faster. You can just literally go and start putting the content, start, documenting your journey. And it's hard, it's very hard. Like it's just incredible how hard it is to go out there and just start talking from your phone and just, because it's not what the majority of people do. But at the same time, you have to realize that if you want to be at the 1% of earning and just be very successful, you have to do the work which like probably less, like 1% of the whole world are doing it. And this is I think super important.
Yeah, you gotta do something that is uncomfortable oftentimes.
Yeah, so Instagram
You gotta
is good to
step
start.
outside of your comfort zone. Yeah.
Yeah, comfort zone is also, and I also like, I talk about that, and sometimes, for example, I could take some break, because we're humans, like we're not all perfect, so like we can do mistakes, we can do things, but of course, like even though like I had a small break on Instagram, I was not very active in the last maybe 2 weeks as I was before, and now for me it's harder to get back, because it's just like I
Lost
lost
momentum. Yeah.
yeah, I lost that feeling, and now I'm thinking about too much of what I should say, what I should not say, and that is not good. So if you can go and slowly, just doesn't matter. Like if you think the content is like literally shit, just it's your vision, but other people might find it super useful, for example. So it's just literally like, don't hear what others say, and just like don't really pay attention to what they say or what they think. Just put consistently content so people can, so you're always consistently appearing, at least on Instagram stories, always at the top, so you have fresh new content. And then more people, maybe in 6 months, they will say, oh, like Vasily, you helped me, I liked your journey, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. People are always quiet. They're going to be quiet. They're not going to say any compliments or even negative feedback. They'll be quiet. But then at some point, some of them are going to say that. And then when you hear that one person said you're doing good, this has to push you even more to continue to get, so you're doing, it's the same with the freelancing. You get first client, first 5-star review. This pushes you for more. The same with the social media. You got one good feedback. This has to push you.
Yeah, results push you forward. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I think.
So you said that maybe the best way to start creating your personal brand is documenting your journey. So if you can start documenting your life and the things that you are passionate about, the things that you are moving towards, your goals, your vision, and what can you say to the people that are really afraid to put themselves out there, and because of the things that you said, because of the fear of the opinion of others, that someone is going to ridicule them, fear of, I don't know, of the bad feedback of the haters. Have you been familiar with something like this? Do you have any haters? Maybe someone that said something bad to you in the beginning that got you discouraged a little bit or something like that?
Well, I mean, when you were saying that, what you can say to others, like I was at that stage where I was very shy. Like I had like maybe 300 followers. I was not even posting at all. And I have my friend in university. He was always kind of like, because we were crazy about Gary Vee. I was listening to him, and my friend was also, and he was more confident. He was more like as a public speaker as well. And he also pushed me. He's like, Vasily, you have to try it at least, go out there, just, put the picture, put the video, like, don't worry about what other people say. Just, try and do it. So that's how I, started to be more comfortable. For example, when I was shy, when I was offering my services on Fiverr, I tried to, do another service where it was consulting with the client. And when I started doing consultings more like on Skype with the clients, I became also a bit more comfortable, because when you're a freelancer, you're also very close, in a very close environment. You don't talk to anyone. You just send messages. You do your work. That's it. So it's good to be able to network, like going to the conferences, being a guest on the podcast, or just going out there and talking with your university friends. So you have to practice those, and then you can transition this into your social media and at least start doing. Because, for example, like there's another top-rated seller. He's in graphic design, and we're good friends as well. And he was very shy with the social media. And then he would send me messages like, Vasily, thanks, you inspired me. And now he started to put himself out there. He started to record, and he looks perfect. Like, I mean, he's just very natural. He just started doing that. And, and he has good results. He has good feedback on his posts, and I'm sure people writing to him direct messages, because it's at one point you just have to realize that you have to do it, give it a try, and once you start doing it, please don't stop, because if you're gonna take a break, like I took even for like 2 weeks, it feels so weird. It's like it's a feeling where you just at the very beginning again. So
You know, I'm also thinking about doing something like this, creating more of my personal brand, and you know, I'm a human just like anyone else. I have this. It's not fear. It's really funny feeling that when I start to put myself out there, I don't know, someone will tease me or something like this, and then in the end, I think to myself that nobody even cares about you. All the people are only considered about themselves, and they don't think about you that much.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to have, like, if you go, if you start showing your life, your corporate life, giving some, talking about something there. I would enjoy watching it, because it's you're in Croatia, you're working the company, and I mean, I would love to follow it and see what's is out there. So I think cool. It's just for us, like when we're trying to put our content, we're thinking, oh, this might be boring, this might be I did it every day and stuff like that. But for other people who are in other countries, in other cities, for them it's also they enjoy it, because they want to see the culture, they want to see how it's out there. If you can maybe share something, talk about something that's just gonna be useful. So I think it's very important.
Yeah, I think that you inspired me to start.
you should. I mean, obviously, building your brand, if you're going as your brand, it's good. You're building your brand, and you can develop your brand and then connect this to your personal at the same time. So people can know that you're a brand, but at the same time, you're the owner of the brand. You're the leader of the brand. So it's also perfectly fine. You can go as a brand, but you can, you have to be comfortable putting out yourself out there, so people can understand that you're connected with the brand and you're the leader. So I know that doing separate, like if you're pushing your brand at the same time you're pushing your personal brand, and you have two different accounts, then you're just thinking too much about the content, or which content should go there, which content should go there, and you become, I would say, slow. So it's just better to put, if you go as a personal, just a person, and you just develop your community, or if you're already as a brand, just it's fine to be to post the brand stuff, but then also show yourself and that you're connected with the brand. So I think just better have one account than have two, and then you're slow.
So you think that the right strategy for me right now is then to show my face a little bit more on my brand LOOD, because
of course. I mean, it's obviously for you it's going to be weird at the beginning, but then because you're at the start, I mean not really at the start, because you already have good audience, but still you're at the beginning because of all this entire journey. So you can, it's fine to show. If you're gonna reach like 50,000 or 100,000 followers, or you're gonna be already developed really high as a company, and then suddenly you're gonna start showing yourself, that's gonna look a little bit strange. But you can do it now, and then you can develop your personal brand together with the company, and then if you want to do separate in the future, you can do it, and people will come from your brand account.
Thanks, man.
Because I remember there was one account, I don't know if you maybe know, it's called Ask a Millionaire, and
yes, I am a part of his
Sean Thomas, his name is Sean Thomas.
I'm part of his group.
Me too.
Most want I will.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
Yeah, I was one of the first members.
Me also. I have a lifetime subscription.
Yeah, me as well.
I didn't see you there. You're not active there.
Yeah, I'm not active at all. I was before. I was active, and I was talking to Sean, and I got the T-shirt and stuff. But then at the end, I was just not very not really active there, and I don't really go there. But it's interesting for me how he branded himself, because he was Ask a Millionaire brand, and then he was like, my name is Sean Thomas, I'm the founder of Ask a Millionaire, and then he was telling, so he was like connecting brand together with his personal brand, and he was very active on Periscope. I remember watching him a lot on Periscope.
Yeah,
so,
me also.
Yeah, so I think it was a good example to go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I think that people will learn a lot from you. You know, I think that sometimes, or maybe more often, it's much better to learn from someone who is at the base of the mountain than someone who is on the top of the mountain.
Of course.
You know, because I think that young people right now can relate to you more than to someone who is on the top, because they are so far away. And that a person that is on the top, maybe he couldn't even remember anymore how it was to be in the beginning, and they cannot communicate it effectively to someone starting out, because they are so far away right now.
It's true. It's actually, you gave me a good as well, like motivation, and at the same time it's true, like what you're saying is true. A lot of them are like already at the top, like the top or at the very end. And of course, when someone is asking like, can you give me advice, they're just like, you know, literally go start working and such. So it's hard. It's good to like, because I'm in the like I would say I'm still at the very beginning of this, but I already got some experience. I can obviously share. I can, you know, share with the issues, with some problems that maybe other people will find similar, and maybe we can come up.
And it's still fresh for you, and you can help others.
Yeah, it's still very fresh. So I think that's also good. And that's why people should be documenting their journey, should be more active at this stage, because, you know, when they're already at the top, everything is going to look nice cars, houses, life is going to be good, traveling. But
and they can discourage other people too, also because when they look at them and see all those flashy things, and then they think to themselves, oh man, I want to do it, I want to accomplish it in, I don't know, 6 months or 1 year, and they cannot do something like that in that short amount of time.
Yeah, of course. And then if you can, you know, show them that it's almost like 10 p.m., I'm still in the office, you know, working, even, you know, doing like podcasts, all that stuff. Some people, maybe one part of people, they're going to be, oh, I love it, I want to do it. Maybe other people will be, oh, no, it's not for me, I don't want to do that. So that's why you have to be also real, and people have to, you know, look at things realistically, and then decide what they want to do.
You know what, man? I want to be respectful with your time. I just wanna have few more questions. It is so interesting to me, and I think that people are also benefiting a lot from this talk. Let's talk a little bit about productivity. I see that you are really big on productivity, on the performance. So for me, productivity starts with a vision.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta have this vision inside of yourself, in your mind, and this vision is going to pull you, is going to give you the energy to do the things that you gotta do every single day, to go, to grind, to be in the process, and things like that. So can you tell me, what is your vision for your company? What is your vision maybe for your life in general? And do you have this habit of goal setting, of planning and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, my ultimate goal with the company is obviously building a big company with, you know, over 500,000 people working. So it's like a big corporation. This is my like ultimate goal. And of course, I know that it's going to take a lot more years. And, you know, that's where I have my smaller goals, which I, you know, set, for example, certain goals for like 3 months, for 6 months. And I try to achieve their personal goals, their company goals as well. And this is very important, because if you don't have any goals, you're just gonna be at one point, always. So, I would say the vision is, of course, is to continue. Right now, like we're pretty set on Fiverr, so I want to continue to expand it because, it's also like when Gary Vee was saying, scale the unscalable. This is also interesting because I'm trying to scale freelancing platform, which is at the same time super risky because there's a lot of rules, there's a lot of stuff, but I find it interesting. I find it exciting at the same time, so I want to continue to scale it. But then at the same time, I'm realizing that I can't put all my eggs in one basket, so I have to still develop something that could also potentially help me maybe in the future. So that's where I'm thinking about online courses, that developing good number of online courses, and maybe going to the like Udemy platform and trying to build my brand there. So that's also like my goal, is to try to develop something that is not only that is dependent on Fiverr, but something outside, because I think that's smart, and at the same time this could open more doors for you. So I would say for the vision as well, right? So it's just for maybe like a personal. I don't really have like I'm 23. I'm still super young. I know that like I'm not probably going to be married in the next 2-3 years. I'm still at that stage where I have a lot of time which I want to use as productive as possible. Because when you're gonna get like obviously I have a girlfriend and etc. But when you're gonna get married, when you're gonna have kids and stuff, you're not gonna have that much of time compared to what you have if you're 22, 21, 23, 24 now. So that's what I'm also thinking. So I don't have any like plans for when I'm 30, 40, because it's still, for me, it's a long time. But I know that now at this stage, I need to develop something that could be that I can put a lot of hours now, and it still could pay off. Maybe not like 100. I'm not talking about like super passive income where you just sit and everything runs for you, but still you can build like a base which is going to help you in the future as well. And when you're 30, you have something with you, and then you can still work on other things which you want. So that's my goal. My goal now is to continue to build, continue to expand the team, expand the services, so we can be more, I would say, stable and growing as a company. And then I want to also, obviously, I want to be speaking more. I want to continue to build my personal brand. At the same time, I want to write books as well. So that's what, my personal, and I want to be focusing a lot when I'm like 30, that stage. I want to be also, continue to expanding my personal brand there. So
great.
Now it's just all about putting as, and doesn't matter, like if you're even now, if you're like 30 or 33, you just have to like live, and you have to find time with the situation you have. So if you're married, kids, and you're starting something, that's fine. You still will be successful. You're still, going to make a lot of money, and you're going to have good life. You just have to adapt to your time and prioritize things. That's it.
Yeah, this is why I liked. This is why I like Gary Vee's mindset on this. He's encouraging people that even if they're 50 or 60 years old, they still have plenty of time, because they're going to live to be 100 years old. You have, if you're 60, you have 40 more years to do a lot of things, and you can do really, really big things in 40 years. So I really, really love his attitude towards this, and this age thing is crippling a lot of people. Someone who is maybe your age will think to themselves, oh man, I'm too young. There's a lot of time for me. I don't need to do it right now. I'm going to take it easy. And if someone is, 50 years old, they're going to say, oh, it's over for me because I'm too old, and I'm not going to amount to anything in life anymore. So it's really, really great approach that he has, and that he is really trying to tell people all over the social media.
Yeah. At the same time, people should be, for example, when you say you're 21 and you're like, for example, super successful, that person could be a short term. They could be super successful for like 2 years, and then everyone could be just forget about that person. So they have to also realize that It could be super success, and then the success could go away. For example, like with the Bitcoin stuff, with all these cryptocurrencies, a lot of big names went out there, and then when the Bitcoin started to go down and a lot of platforms collapsed, a lot of different names just got disappeared as well. So and that's not only like with the Bitcoin, but with other examples as well. But people have to realize that if they're 50, 30, they could, it could be 1 year where they could make $1 million. But if they don't have a vision, it's going to be, and mentality is going to be impossible. If they know what they're doing, if they have a vision, if they have goals, if they're ready for it, then, literally 1 year could change your life.
Yeah, man. So how do you go about it? This day I've been doing some calculation, and I put in my calculator on the iPhone 365 days in a year.
I saw this
in a year.
Today.
And when you divide, when you know that 33% of your time you are asleep, and you are sleeping for 121 days in a year.
That's crazy.
It's crazy when you think about it that way. And so how do you go about your day if you know this? And for me, what I try to do is I want to create priorities out of my priorities. I want to prioritize my priorities. So this is the thing that you need to do, and don't just disperse yourself in a lot of meaningful little actions.
Yeah.
So how do you go about it? How do you prioritize? How do you decide on what actions to take?
Well, I mean, when you talk about priorities, you also, when you write down something like to-do list, you also want to make sure that your to-do list is not so big, because otherwise, if you create a big to-do list, you're not gonna complete it. So you have to, it's literally just how you have to understand yourself. Like, I know that if I'm, gonna work, for example, in the evening, I'm not gonna be productive. You just have to feel yourself. And, I think, it's literally you have to have some sort of a feeling. You have to, have to be afraid of taking risks. So you have to just think about this. Like, every day you have to be progressing. Doesn't matter if it's like less than 1%, but you have to be progressing. At the same time, when you're building a business, 1% of every day you have to try to outsource to your employers, to freelancers you have, to anyone. So that's what I have in my mind, that I know that, for example, some of the work which I'm doing, I'm trying to find a way to also give it to employers, so I can continue to expand, continue to go for other stuff. Because if you're not going to be productive, if you're not going to be I would say completing your to-do list, etc., then you're just going to be at one stage, and then the year passes, you're in the same stage doing the same stuff. So that's what you have to be, always try to go back. Like, for example, I can say that last year I had only like 1-2 team members. Now we're over, we have 12 team members. We're building video production. We have moved we started with 10 square meters office. Now it's 102 square meters. So like, I see that, like, obviously when I'm not realizing, but now when we're talking about this, like, I see the progress. I'm like, wow, it's incredible. But for me, I'm still saying that, no, you have to keep going. Like, don't stop, just, it's good that, you have the progress, but still for yourself, you have to be always try to set higher barriers and, always goals. So like, never stop and say, okay, I reached it, and that's it.
I agree. I think that you have to be proud of yourself for the things that you did so far. And I know that that your potential is much bigger than you reached so far. So can you tell me? Okay, so when you wake up, maybe the day before, the night before, you think to yourself what you're gonna do tomorrow, and you're gonna focus. Focus is really, really important. So you're gonna focus on these 3 big tasks, and you're going to delegate some some tasks to your employees also, and for you, you're going to try to focus on the things that will grow your organization. You want to be super effective and efficient. So how do you go about the distractions during the day? So you said a few times, you said that in the morning when everything is quiet, you try to do operational things.
Correct.
And after it, maybe you leave some time to I don't know, communication with your employees, doing some strategy work for meetings or things like that.
Yeah. So I mean, you said it exactly right. Distractions, they come, but if you can put the highest priority tasks at the very, because when you wake up in the morning, like especially like now I woke up in Russia like 6:30 sometimes. I used to, like, last 3-4 days I was waking up much later, but that's what I had usually my routine. I wake up early when I have this feeling like I drive, going in the car, everything is still, the city is sleeping, and I'm going out there. There is some taxi drivers who are trying to make their hustle and working all night. And then when I arrive to the office, everything is quiet. No one's gonna tell me to let's talk, to sign problem or anything. I just do highest priority tasks, like what I know that I need to do them. And then when the day starts, 10 a.m., the team is starting to come, the questions starting to arise, and I have to just be prepared for that. So I can't put the tasks which only I have to do for the later time of the day, because then it's just going to be a mess, and I'll be distracted. I can forget, and then I think it's very important. So just whatever you do, only you have to put in the morning as a first priority, and then when you have all these team members coming, and you need to discuss meetings, then you just have to be ready for that part. So you can't really push your stuff till the end of the day, because if you can do, like, I cannot do it. Like if I try to do it, I'm not gonna finish my task. So if you can do it, it's fine, do it. But from my experience, I cannot do it. So I found it much more effective to do stuff in the morning.
Man, you really, really inspired me. So tomorrow, right now, I'm going to go to the bed really early, and tomorrow I'm going to wake up around 5 in the morning, and I'm going to be working on my side hustle, on my brand, on the company that I want to create, and I really want to be starting a vlog also, just like you do. And I think that you're going to be proud of me when you see really that I started it really quickly.
You should. And the thing is, like, for me, for example, like, it's hard. Like, I'm not like a supernatural blogger who's gonna go out there. Like, for me, it's hard, but I'm trying to, because I like it. Obviously, if you don't enjoy it, like, maybe it's not for you. But I still enjoy it, but I'm still shy, I would say, sometimes. So I'm trying to to have that more and more confidence every day. So, like, I'm not perfect, but I know that when I do it, and when I just, for me, it's that feeling, not like actual talking, but start talking, like actually, start that first second. So, if I can go through it, fight through it, then I'm just enjoying the process. I don't care whoever like looking at me or anything. So it's just, getting through it. And then when you're consistent, you just continue to do it. And doing the vlogs it's good. It's, even though it's not going to convert into money yet, or into the, any results, views, likes, it's still good practice for you. Like, you're going to be proud of yourself. You're going to practice the speech. You're going to be more, you're going to be, it's just going to help you in the future anyways. And if you can see other people, like, for example, if I'm going to see you doing that, you can see other person, maybe you which you had on the podcast before, you connect with them. And if you're in that circle of people, you're gonna feel much more confident as well. And because that's a small percentage of people. Like, I wish there will be more people in Saint Petersburg who are also driven, vloggers, like ready to speak. But the community is not very big. That's why we go travel to other places, meet other people, host conferences. So you can be in that environment, because that environment is gonna also push you further.
Yeah,
and
you are the average of the 5 people that you spend most time with. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good to surround yourself with also successful people who you can learn from, because then you're becoming also improving, you're reaching another level, and that's going to help you as well.
I agree. Yeah. So for the end, I just want you to describe your typical day. There is a saying that goals are for losers and the system is for winners. So if you want to be a winner, you got to have a system around it. So what habits or what routines are you trying to do every single day? What your typical day looks like?
Well, first thing, I try to go to bed before, I would say, 11:30. That's like the number one thing, because if I go later than that, it's just going to be a miracle to wake up. And then basically I'm going to collapse in the middle of the week and just sleep until, 10, 11, etc. So you have to obviously go to bed early. And that's what, for me, is the first goal, to go to bed early. And then when I wake up, I try, first thing when I wake up, obviously alarm. I have like 5 of them set up, just because that was my habit from university, where I was literally working on the paper, on the exam, on the last minute. And then I had to put like 5-10 alarms to make sure I can wake up in 2-3 hours. And I still have like 3 alarms, whatever. But when I turn off the alarm, I try not to take the phone straight away. So like I turn it off and I try to get from bed as soon as possible, because this is another thing. You can stay there for 30 minutes if you're going to go on Instagram, if you're going to go on, WhatsApp or other things.
You're going to lose time.
Yeah, you're going to lose those 30, maybe an hour even. And this is like, because if I'm going to open my phone, I'm going to go like on Fiverr, I'm going to see a lot of messages, maybe some complaints, emergencies to take or good things. And I'm going to spend like time. So I try to turn off alarm, go to shower, do all this necessary stuff, eat, and then, go to work. And then at the work, I start and then opening. If I'm working from home, or let's say if I'm in travel, then once I get done with breakfast, all that stuff, I open my phone and then I'm in the working mood. So once I'm working, then I try not go for like 3 hours. I try to maybe set like a timer, like work for 90 minutes and then just take small break, because obviously it's important to take those breaks sometimes as well. So I try to put 90 minutes, small break, 90 minutes. And then that's usually happens already closer to 11 a.m. That's where people already, the team is here. So we're discussing, we're also enjoying, we're sometimes having fun, like for a few minutes, obviously not so much because of the work we have, but at the same time, we're communicating, talking. And then after lunch, it's more about if we're recording a new video, if we're, working on something all together. So it's more about the teamwork, I would say, happening. And then once 6 p.m., majority of the team leaves, we have someone who's still working on some stuff. And usually I stay until, I would say 7, 8. And then once I'm at 8, my girlfriend, she gets, obviously, she's like, what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. So I know that at this stage, at 8 p.m., I have to, go with her. And that's normal. Like, obviously, it's very normal. So we go together, just, walk or eat dinner. And then the rest, I just mostly spend time with her and then start my day again.
So when do you find time for working out?
Working out happens in the evening. So it happens not always. So that's where I finish my work. So for example, 6 o'clock, if I can, the best for me is to push 6 o'clock where majority of guys leave. And then some of them go to the gym straight away. So we go together. And if I stay longer at work, which I try to, eliminate, because at that stage I'm not very productive. So I try to live with them. And then by 8, we're eating together with my girlfriend and then spending time with her. So I usually spend maximum an hour and a half working out. And if I can do it also consistently, like every day for 1 hour, or at least like 3 times a week for 1 hour, I feel very good. And I'm also proud of myself because I'm getting in better shape at the same time.
Yeah. So you're lifting weights, or what kind of
weight.
work?
I like running a lot because it helps me, obviously, like sweating, you're just like getting that bad energy out. And, you just good at the same time listening to the podcast and then just working out. Like I can, for example, Monday, I'm running for maybe 15, 20 minutes. And then the rest I'm lifting weights and then, just stretching for 5 to 10 minutes. And that's it. And then Wednesday, for example, if I'm going 3 times a week, Wednesday, I'll just do my like lower body, legs, for example, and running as well. So obviously, it's not like as I was training before professionally, but it's just to make sure I'm fit, to make sure I can, break from the office atmosphere and just kind of like also have that feeling of fighting, of kind of like, pushing yourself a little bit more. So I think it's important.
Great, man.
Yeah.
Is it